This is Colin O'Keefe with another episode of LXBN TV. Late last month, the historic immigration reform bill was passed by the Senate, though it faces many challenges now as it's in the House of Representatives. Joining me now to explain the Senate's bill and what lies ahead for it is attorney Dawn Lurie. She is a partner with Sheppard Mullin in Washington, D.C., and she is a frequent blogger on their publications EB5 Opportunities and also on the Labor and Employment Law blog. Dawn, first, let's discuss the bill within the context of your expertise, and that's immigration compliance. What stands out to you with this bill as far as compliance issues go?
Well, in this bill, in the Senate bill, we have a mandatory E-Verify compliance component of the bill. Basically, what that will do will have a rollout of the E-Verify requirement. And E-Verify is an internet-based system that employers use to verify the work authorization of their employees. Right now, it is not mandatory across the country. For federal contractors, it is in most cases, and then depending upon state law, you may see it mandatory. But the bill, within a 5-year period, will ensure that employers all across the country phase into it based on the larger employers going first. In addition, in the bill, there is going to be a tightening up of the Social Security cards or some other type of biometric identifiers to ensure that the individuals that are using E-Verify can be verified in such a way to prove the identity. Right now, we have an issue with E-Verify that obviously Congress is well aware of, where identity theft is not caught in the E-Verify system. So that will be one thing that we will see if the bill is taken up in any way. In addition, there'll be certain identity attestations that will need to be made by the individuals. And I think the most prominent part of S44 is the fact that the employer fines are increased incredibly. So now we're talking $25,000 could be for the violations, and then there's criminal penalties and other civil and criminal fines that could be in excess of $10,000 per violation. So it's something that we need to watch. But I think the bigger thing to consider right now is the fact that likely this bill is not what the Senate is not what the House is going to take up. The House has 3 options right now. They can either move forward with their own comprehensive immigration bill. They can put forward piecemeal legislation, different individual bills. They can do nothing. I guess there's a 4th. They could take up the Senate bill, but the Speaker has been very defiant about doing that and has basically told the community that that is not what the House intends to do. So it is important to watch, and it's a big disappointment if we do not see comprehensive reform. And I think that the Republican Party needs to re-look at the use of these individual piecemeal bills. I think it will be problematic because we do have 11 million individuals that we need to legalize and get into the system in some way to identify them for security reasons, if nothing else.
Absolutely. This is a very important issue, as you mentioned, and I think it's a piece of legislation that President Barack Obama would like to be his signature work of his second term. But, of course, the House is making things difficult. So on that, what is next for the bill? What areas of the bill do you see the House putting up the most fight on? Where do most of the critiques lie?
Well, I think the House basically, we're definitely going to see border security. I mean, they've already passed the border security bill, and they want to ensure that that is done first. And practically speaking, we're talking a very long road for this could possibly go down. The way that the Senate bill is set up, while it is far from perfect, there is a registration period for those that are in the country without documentation. There will be certain security checks and a process that we'll go through that will take many, many years. I think the House is still struggling with whether or not they want to even include any type of legalization for those workers in any legislation that is passed. So it's possible that we will see separate types of legislation. I think E-Verify, likely if anything is passed, I think we will see a mandatory phase-in of E-Verify for employers and stricter penalties that will go along with increased border enforcement.
I see. It's going to be an interesting issue to keep an eye on because, as I mentioned, I think President Obama would like to have this done during his second term. So we'll see which direction this goes in both the near and, as it seems, the distant future as well. Once again, that was Dawn Lurie of Sheppard Mullin. For more of her insight, be sure to visit both eb5opportunities.com and also laboremploymentlawblog.com as well. And also, of course, if you're not already watching us here on LXBN, be sure to visit LXBN.com, where we have hundreds more LXBN TV video interviews, multiple each week, and also have curated commentary from the LexBlog Network's more than 8,000 members. Thank you for joining me today, Dawn.
Thank you.